Good day, everybody, and welcome to the channel. My name's Nomad, and I'm just here to kind of help you guys out in understanding a little bit more about how Marvel's Contest of Champions works, how you can kind of navigate it. The game has grown a lot we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary. I've seen a lot of new players just starting out or returning players coming back to the game. They're asking lots of questions, what I think is great. And so I'm just here to kind of maybe get ahead of those, knock out some of those things. That way you can progress through the game quicker and enjoy more of the game and playing with the champions that you like and all the Marvel characters that you enjoy. So I'm just here to hopefully guide you guys through those things. If there's any questions, please feel free to leave anything in the comments, and I'll definitely try to get back to you guys. But why don't we go ahead and just start out? Once you've finished any kind of tutorial, I guess upon joining the game, or if you're just returning, you're going to end up on this home screen. So you're gonna every single time you open the game, you're gonna end up on this home screen. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on. But we're gonna go through each one, all the tabs, all the things you can click, and hopefully that'll help you guys understand if you need to do something, where to go, and how to do it. In the top left corner, we'll go ahead and start out settings. That's pretty self-explanatory here. Just a couple things I would say to make a Kabam account. That's a form for you to log in. It's also going to let you access, the actual online web store where you can get some deals if you choose to. There's also daily and weekly free rewards that you can get. So it can be worth it to do that. You also get to join the forums and see what the developers are saying directly. That way you can kind of understand what's going on with the game. Down a little bit further, honestly, just shut off the global chat. That's not going to help you at all. And then I'd probably say right around here, quick claim free crystals. Those are your daily, weekly crystals. You can just claim those for free without having to enter any kind of opening screen or animation. So it's gonna save you a lot of time, and you can store them up, which is really, really nice. They don't expire. So as we head back in the top right corner, those are your units. Okay, so units are the premium currency of the game. You're going to use them for plenty of different things. They're really valuable. You can purchase them with actual money, your hard-earned money, so that's why they're so valuable. But you can earn them in-game, more importantly. You can earn them in-game, and you can use them for plenty of things. As a new player, I'd recommend holding on to them and using them for masteries. We'll go over that. So your mastery tab, they're just benefits that apply to all your champions. Instead of buying crystals, don't buy the crystals. Hopefully everyone will tell you that, and that way you won't get let down with not getting the champions that you want. But either way, you can use those units for however you see fit. Those are just some things I'd recommend. So speaking of that, if you go, you can tap your little icon up there, and this is your summoner profile, and this is where that mastery tab is. So here it'll show your top champions, prestige, and things like that, which we can get into, but it's just kind of a display of where you're at in the game. On the mastery tab, like I was talking about, these are, I guess, skills that you can choose, and these apply to all your champions. So keep that in mind. They apply to all your champions. I'm just going to get this out of the way. Right here, parry and dexterity. There's not a single summoner in the game that I know that doesn't have these two masteries. They're basically essential to playing the game, and they're going to benefit you greatly. So, and I'll do a whole nother video on the masteries and how that works. But let's just keep moving on. So as you can see, we're going to go towards the fight tab. This is kind of where everything goes down. Okay, so when you open up your fight tab, you can see there's a lot of these tiles as we go through, and there's a lot of them. There didn't used to be this many. It's quite incredible, all that's come about. Starting from the left is the main story quest. So this is how you're going to literally progress through the game, and I would recommend doing this as quickly as you possibly can. They release new chapters every so often, so you essentially can catch up. It's not like they're going to outpace you. So definitely start your story mode and get through it as quickly as you can. You're going to attain greater progression levels, which in turn is going to give you more rewards. So definitely focus on story quest. Event quests are next. They release one of these every single month. So every single month there's an event quest. It has various difficulties that you can choose from depending upon your progression level from story. And it's always going to introduce kind of the new champions that they're putting in the game. Every single month they release 2 new champions. Those returning probably knew that. Those who are just coming to the game, it's pretty darn cool. You get 2 new champions every single month, and so lots more are added as the game progresses. Next, I'd call these like special quests. So currently, we have the Summer of Suffering going on, which are really challenging quests. They're end game content. Probably not something that new players or returning players are going to worry about. Veteran players, don't worry, I'm going to have guides on these things too, because I want to help out everybody that I can. But that's why I say special quests. They come around every so often. There's not necessarily a regular schedule, but again, you'll see those announcements in the forums or MCOBAM will release those things themselves. Next to that is Battlegrounds. So Battlegrounds is a solo player versus player arena in a sense. Really, really neat. In my opinion, this is probably keeping the competitiveness of the game alive. Essentially, you create a deck of 30 champions that you possess, and then you take turns selecting, I believe it's 15 of them, and then you kind of battle it out with another player. You can earn rewards. These are the best rewards in the game. That's obviously why it's so popular. Helps you progress real quick. So the sooner you can get into Battlegrounds, if that's something you enjoy, definitely go for it. Next to that's the side quest. These are released alongside the event quest. So once a month we get something like this, and they have different levels of difficulty and pretty good rewards a lot of times. They're a bit shorter, and so they're usually kind of like a short challenge, but not quite like the special quest like I mentioned. But those are definitely neat. Next to that, these are alliance-based things, so you can see where it says Alliance Quest. Basically, if you have an alliance, those are other players that you're teamed up with. Alliances are in groups of 30. It's basically a large quest that you and your alliance get to collaborate on to complete. Beneath that is Incursions. So Incursions is like basically you go through different zone after zone of challenges, and there's about 15 zones, 25 zones in the most challenging version of that, and great rewards there too. Next, so Alliance Wars. That's again something you do with your alliance where you compete. It's kind of like Battlegrounds, but it's team based, so your entire alliance participates in creating a defense of your top champions, and you basically face other alliances who've set up defenses themselves. Super fun. I enjoy Alliance War a lot. I think a lot of people, there's good competitiveness there, sorry, and lots of good rewards there too. Beneath that is daily quests. So this is where you can kind of get revives, potions, upgrades, and things you're championing. Nothing serious. You can do these daily. So if you're low on revives, definitely just do it. You can just do it real quick, and you're at least guaranteed 1 revive. So if that's something you need, you can do it. Otherwise, that's definitely not high on the priority list. Up next is the special quests. These are permanent content that have been added to the game, and these are definitely end game content. Most recently, the Crucible has been released, and the Necropolis. Again, end game content, super fun. They're basically long form fights. Each fight's lasting 5 to 10 minutes. And that's a challenge that a lot of people appreciate. Beneath that, back issue quests. These are just kind of classic short quests that they've added that have varying rewards and challenges. But again, these are permanent, so you can do these at any time, no rush. Arenas is essentially this is kind of the grindy part of the game. And I don't want to say that's a bad thing. Here, as you notice, this is where you can earn units. So you essentially hit these milestones by earning points. You earn points by winning fights, and that in turn awards you with units. Later on, as you get higher up, you can also basically win new champions as they get released. If you're capable of earning enough points, you can get the newest champions in the game. And then the training grounds, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. We're going to go over everything that you need to know. So, training grounds, honestly, they can probably just get rid of that if I'm being real. So as we go back to the home screen, this is just your alliance tab, shows all your members. You can help your alliance in giving them energy so they can continue quests, and just anything that's going on with your alliance. When someone opens up a new crystal or a champion, you can see that here. Crystals, bread and butter of the game. This is where you're going to get your new champions and upgrade materials and all sorts of the goodies that everybody's wanting. Sorry, just heading back. Your champions tab. This is where you're going to get to see all the champions you've collected over time. You can filter them based on different metrics. This is useful if you're entering quests and need specific champions for any reason. And you can check out all their stats just in their info and see what's going on. Oops, sorry, missed something. We'll go back. There's also relics. So relics are like combo extenders in the game that give various abilities to your champions. These can be a lifesaver. They also pair really well with certain champions. This is kind of a new feature that they're working out still and adding new relics as the game progresses. Your inventory tab, these are all your upgrade materials. You'll notice that as you want to rank up champions. This is just a way for you to keep track of all that you have. Champion items and so on and so forth. So the store, as you notice, there's a lot of different stores here towards the top. And each one of these stores uses a different currency, so you're not using up all your units for these things. Your featured store will have things for units like, profile pictures or, name change tokens and things like that. But, in each little event that you do, so things like, your incursions, alliance quest, mastery upgrades, this is where I'd recommend you use your units to start. Just throwing that out there. Alliance war, they each have a different currency, and you can buy things in each of the stores. So that stuff's all pretty regular. Moving on, we've got down below here the news button. Just kind of takes you to outside sources of Kabam, so newsletters, videos, so on and so forth. Right here where these two crystals sit, that's your quick collect for your daily crystals. So every single time that says it's ready, click it, boom, got your crystals. Move on. Another alliance button, your calendar. Every single month they release a calendar. Each day you get on, you get rewards for free. And then you also get rewards each day depending on your progression level in the game. This is basically just kind of the leaderboard of the game. As you can see, I'm so close to being number one. Oh, sorry, that's in my alliance. I'm just kidding. I'm nowhere near. These guys are quite up there. But it's just a way for you to see other champions, or sorry, other summoners, the champions they got and their progression levels. Next to that, so this is the double track event. So I can claim that. And these are basically like battle passes, right? So the gold track is for free. Everybody gets the gold track. If you pay a little bit of money, you can get the platinum track, which obviously gives you much more rewards. In this case, it also let us get a new champion in Beta Ray Bill, so it really turned out to be worth it. And next to that is your stash, is what we call it, so where extra items go. So if you have more than your inventory can hold, they're stored here for a short period of time. You can sell them, or hopefully you'll use other resources and these just filter back into your inventory. You can also find your rewards here, and they'll have expiration times. Kind of, I feel like this one's 24 days, and it'll turn red when it's nearing expiration, so just pay attention to that. That way you're not losing out on items that might be valuable to you. Down in the bottom left, these are where kind of your chats are. Mail, this is where Kabam, or you get rewards for the various activities that you do in the game. Those will all pop up here. They'll also pop up in your stash, so it's kind of just whichever you prefer. And then this clipboard, bottom right, these are objectives. Some of these are time limited, like Battlegrounds objectives, daily, weekly. The Karina's challenges, however, are fixed in the game, so they're permanent content. You can do those anytime, and some of them can give really great rewards. So this is pretty much the entire home screen. So I hope that helped you out. If there's any more questions you guys have, feel free to leave me comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.